All right, Mike, thanks. Online dating. Is it the new hotspot to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right? 1 out of every 5 singles in the U.S. has used an internet dating site, and 17% of all people married in the past 3 years actually met each other online. But internet dating isn't just for young people who are looking for love. Joining us now live is relationship expert Janie Lacy. Always great to see you.
Great to see you.
And you say baby boomers are now actually going online to meet significant others now, too. That's kind of an interesting trend.
They are. And we used to think it was the younger generation, but now the baby boomers on there just as much. And I think we've seen an increase over the last couple of years.
Wow. Now, we know that online dating can get expensive, especially if you sign up for a bunch of the websites. And some of those websites can be pretty pricey, but you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money. But there are some things, some tips that you brought us today that I think are very interesting. And the first one is such an obvious one, but I think we all have a hard time with it. And that's to be honest.
Right. Before anyone even enters the online dating world, they have to make a promise to themselves that they are going to be who they are. There's a temptation out there to want to exaggerate or put some things out there to shed themselves in the best light. They can still do that, but be honest. Because there's lots of times I'll come across couples in my office that met online and they'll refer back to something that happened when they first met. Well, you really weren't as old as you said you were, and they really they hurt by that.
So unfair to use a picture of yourself from 30 years ago as your profile picture, perhaps?
Absolutely.
I had no wrinkles in that picture. I look good, but maybe not necessarily the best.
Right. Okay. You probably want to stick within the last couple years so you look like who you say you are.
All right. I think that's probably a good idea. All right. The next one, and also an interesting one, is update your appearance. I think sometimes we just sort of get so settled in our ways of, oh, I've always done my hair like that, or oh, that sweater from 10 years ago, it's still good, but we need to update.
We do. It's time to lose that 80s hairstyle. So there's a few changes that people can make it their haircut, update their wardrobe a little bit just to make themselves look a little bit more appealing. Looks aren't everything, but they certainly are important.
All right, and don't be in such a rush. Isn't that such a good one? I think everybody, you know, when they start looking, they want immediate gratification.
They do. Take your time, get to know that person as much as you can online. And there are things that you can do actually before you set that face-to-face meeting. You can do Skype calls, you can do the video chat. So this way you can actually see if they are looking like their picture, or are they actually 30 years older than what they appear to be.
Right. No, that's smart. And then this next one, really important, especially with the online, is to protect yourself.
Right, because we can get comfortable really quick, then you feel like you know that person because you've been chatting back and forth, but still be smart. Meet with them in public places, just really take your time before you actually set yourself up to have them pick you up at your house or be alone with them.
All right, and finally the last one is getting to the heart of what we're talking about with online dating, which is to spend moderately. You don't need to, I mean, some of these services, I can't get over how much people spend, tens of thousands of dollars to meet a match. I mean, it's just not necessary, is it?
There are a lot of free sites, so if someone has not entered the online dating world, they can check out some of the free sites, and they can later move to some of the more the services that have fees.
Okay.
But they can also, when they go on their dates, and we talk about spending moderately, they don't necessarily have to go and have an expensive dinner. They can go out and do free things in the community as well.
All right, that's great advice, Janie Lacy. Thank you so much. Always great to see you. All right, we're going to take a short commercial break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.